Alright, Turd Nerds, here we are on the basin. Today's video, we're going to be talking about our digester. Put in the digester when every time we waste from the basin, we're relieving the solids from the system. That is our job as wastewater operators, is to manage the solids, and that's how we do it, is through wasting. So when you do waste activated sludge, when you do waste, you're removing those solids from the system. And here at this plant, it goes into the digester. So as you can see, this digester is a lot smaller than some. Maybe it's bigger than some others, but it is built specifically for this plant. It's a package plant, smaller profile, and we're right here. We're at the splitter box for the basin, and right now that's your return. It's actually flowing down into the basin. Nice, thick, good-looking chocolate milk. Great color today out there on the basin. Looks beautiful. But if we were to move this handle this way, we would then be wasting. So we would be removing those solids that are entering back in the system. We'd be removing them and putting them in our digester. Today's video, I specifically wanted to talk about the digester, how we fill it up, why we fill it up, and then also discuss decanting or the Supernate. For those of you that are new to the industry, you might be thinking like, what's all this decant Supernate talk? What's that talking about? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about that. So the digester normally has air on it, just like our basin does, right? It has the same bacteria. We want air in there. We don't want just septic wastewater sitting in there going septic, right? That's why it doesn't smell out here, because of the addition of the air. The air on the system is actually keeping the organisms afloat. It's providing the oxygen they need, and it allows it to not go septic, which in turn makes it not smell. There you go, now you know. In order to get more space in your digester, to be able to hold more solids for longer before you have to remove those solids through your dewatering process, that's where the Supernatant decant comes into play. So the way we achieve a decant and the way we see our Supernate is very simple. Imagine your clarifier. On your clarifier, your solids sink to the bottom, the clear water rises. Same thing we do in the digester. We turn off the air to the digester, we allow the solids to settle, and that clear liquid that's left on top, that is what is actually called the Supernate. And we are going to pump that out of the digester back into the system. All the bugs, all the solids are settled below there, so we're not defeating our purpose. If your plant, if you do not have a way to add chemical to your digester, as far as treating your pH, treating your phosphorus, making sure that phosphorus you removed through the settling process stays in the digester and doesn't get introduced back into your system, you might want to look at that. You might want to run a pH test on your Supernate, run a phosphorus test on the Supernate. These are things you as an operator can do to help you better judge whether or not that's going to be an issue for you or not. So really quick, wanted to walk over here to plant 1. Plant 1's digester actually has the air still on. What we were just looking at was plant 2. Plant 1's digester actually has the air on it, and we're trying to get a decant on our plant 2 digester. So I wanted to show you the piping because they are twin sister plants. So what looks like on one looks just that way on the other. Wanted to show you what the digester and normal operation looks like, and some of the piping that's actually running through it. So when we get over to the one that is settled, you'll be able to better understand, hopefully. This is our digester for the plant. The sludge is a lot thicker. The diffusers are different. What's giving it that air addition, you can tell that's a big difference in the way that's being aerated, right? Here in the mixed liquor process, we want a nice smooth aeration. We have fine bubble diffusers, so that is dispersing the air a lot more evenly, making sure the microorganisms inside that process have everything they're going to need to stay in suspension, to get their DO, and to survive. Over here, we're really not too worried about it. Our main purpose in the digester is just to give it air. Yes, it will help whatever microorganisms are in there, but we also don't want it to go septic. So that's why these coarse bubble diffusers are located in the digester. It's just to make sure we are pumping air. That is a lot of air, but because we have the digester, the header cut off to digester 2, it's pushing a lot more air over here. So it's normally not that turbulent and violent. It is just enough air to, again, keep them from stinking and going separate. But I wanted you to notice this pipe right here. That is actually from our splitter box, from our main system, and it's a way if we ever did need to use the other half of the plant, we could introduce raw influent that way. But I wanted you to see that pipe, and then when we go over to digester 2, you'll be able to see that pipe, but it will be underwater. To give you an example of this, and that way you could see it and had a better understanding. The liquid that's going to be in your digester, again, all comes from wasting, so you're going to have a lot more grease-heavy spots. You're going to have a lot thicker sludge. So the actual act of getting that decant is going to help your digester become thicker, and that's what you want. You don't want too thin of a sludge when you're pumping it to your dewatering. You want that sludge to be thick. It's going to press better. The polymer is going to have a better effect on it. It's going to help the process all the way around. So let's go check out plant number 2's digester. Air will be off. It'll be settled out, and that way you can see where that pipe's at under the water. All right, here we are at plant number 2's digester. Just wanted to take a second and show you that shot. That's the same pipe that you saw before in plant 1, only now you can actually see there's some solids settled on top, and the blanket itself has actually settled below that pipe. So right now we're looking like close to a 2.5 to 3 foot decant off of this digester, and you can see the scum that settles on top, just like in a clarifier, guys. If the digester had that same arm swoop, the top of this would be clear. It's actually rarely this clear. That's why I wanted to shoot this video. Normally the grease on top there is just so thick you can't really see so clear down into there. So this is actually a great day for this video. Some great footage we're getting here. And the way we're going to remove this clear liquid, we have a submersible sump pump that's attached to this crane here, and it's going to go down under the water. It's adjustable through a hand crank. I know, not the best method, right? But that's what we have here at this facility. And when we cut that pump on, it's actually going to pump out through that hose and return the clear Supernate to the beginning of the process. So this is the start of the process for plant 2. We got the raw influent coming in here. We have our returning right here. We're going to send our Supernate from our decant right there. It is flowing out at the start of the plant. That is clear liquid. Make sure we focus in on that. That's clear liquid being pumped from our digester back to the start of the plant. It's going to go back through retreatment and the treatment process. But just a note from the operator, you as the operator, you need to be aware of potential risk regarding your Supernate, what's returning back into your system. If it's high in phosphorus, low pH, all those could have very negative effects on your system, on your process as a whole. So it's very important. Sometimes, you know, maybe it's a common thing you guys do at your facility. Maybe you need to start doing that at your facility. You might be having some issues and you're not sure where it's coming from. But running process control tests on your Supernate doesn't hurt, but it's just for you as an operator to have that knowledge, kind of know maybe on average, you know. Not saying you got to do it every time, but you do 2 a month, do 1 a month. You could say on average what about that phosphorus is in the Supernate. You could then have a point to argue for, do we need to start adding chemical to our digester to help decrease the amount of phosphorus we're returning back to the system. Those kind of things are great to know as an operator. It's just part of you doing your due diligence as a turd nerd and trying to gain a greater understanding of the system. At this plant here, the digester is very small in size, so this is a weekly thing we try to do in order to conserve space and get these solids that are in the digester as thick as possible, so that when we do send them to dewatering, we optimize our dewatering process as well. But hopefully this explains how getting that decant is effective, its purpose, its use. Also, for the benefit of the digester, that Supernate, that's that clear liquid that's on top of your digester after you turn the air off and let it settle. Another note, just to be cautious of, if you are turning the air off to your digester, you don't want to leave it off for an extremely long amount of time. You could potentially shoot yourself in the foot or cause an issue, whether that is affecting the pH and other things regarding your Supernate that you're then going to add back into your system during treatment, or it could potentially hurt the sludge that you're leaving in there, and it's going to make it harder for you to dewater. So it's not something you just cut the air off and you leave it off for a few days and see what you can get. On average, you want to leave it off 4 hours, really no longer than that. You want to be getting the Supernate. You got to also calculate, it's going to take time to then pull the Supernate off depending on the size pump. It's something that can be unique to each facility in regards to how often you guys decant, how much you decant, where that Supernate goes in as far as the process. It should be returned to the head of the plant, but it very well could have some other direction that it goes. So it could be very site specific for you at your treatment process. But if you are an operator in training, if you are somebody who is just getting into this industry, I wanted you to have a little bit better understanding of Supernate, decant, the pros, the cons, why you do it. It's to benefit your sludge for the dewatering process, but it's also to give you more space in your digester. Now that you know the reasons behind it, maybe it'll help you along in your studies or just become better operators. So if you like today's video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Operator mindset, training operators for the future, changing the mindset of the industry, and we'll see you on the next one. Turd Nerd out.